Our top story tonight, the Obama administration's sudden announcement rejecting the Keystone pipeline. It's a project which started a battle between Republicans and unions on one side, who could claim it would create as many as 100,000 jobs, and Democrats and environmentalists on the other. Joining me now, Congressman Tim Griffin from Arkansas, one of the leading voices in Congress on the pipeline, pro-pipeline, and he says the fight over the pipeline is far from over. Congressman, welcome. Tell me what you make of the president's call today.
Thank you for having me. Well, whether you look at this from a jobs perspective, energy independence, or national security, this is the biggest no-brainer that I've seen since I've been in Congress. Just to start on the jobs issue, which I think is the most important one, what happened today is the president made a decision, and he ultimately made a decision to create jobs in Asia, or specifically in China, instead of the United States. And you may say, well, why are you saying that? Well, a few weeks ago, I went down to the Canadian embassy, and I met with a lot of the Canadian officials there, and we talked specifically about the Keystone pipeline. And they were real straight. They said, look, we want to do business with the United States. You're our friends. We have an interest in doing this right here on the North American continent. But if President Obama starts this pipeline, we're going to continue to mine the oil sands, but we can't let them just pile up.
Congressman, they're definitely going to give it to the folks in China if we don't play along. And we also had talked to Allison Redford in Alberta, and she was pretty straightforward about what that country wants to do. I got to tell you, Canada said this afternoon that they're going to reapply, but could that make the difference?
Well, I think we've got to try every single option we can. I mean, this is a political decision by the president. As you referred to earlier, he's got us Republicans and most Americans with the unions on one side,
right,
and you've got the environmental extremists on the other, and he did not want to have a division in his base, so he says, I'm just going to punt.
Yeah.
And
all right. I need you to respond to something that Jay Carney said today. He's saying it's your fault that you and all the Republicans in Congress for this delay in the pipeline. Listen to Jay Carney.
60 days is simply not enough time. We don't even have an alternate route identified yet. So how could anyone possibly review it thoroughly in the manner that is expected in this process? Congressman,
is it the GOP's fault?
Complete and utter nonsense. This has been going on for years, and let's back up just a couple of months. The president took a look at this issue, and did he say, well, we're going to make this decision as quickly as possible, and I'm not sure how long it'll take? No. He said, we will make this decision after the election. He knew it would be after the election because he was deciding that.
Right.
He was making it so as a political decision. Look, I think if any of us would have been told, hey, we need an extra week, we need an extra month, happy to give it if we could get this thing done. That is a weak excuse. They've been looking at this for years. We have been advocating for this. Secretary Clinton even said earlier last year that she was leaning toward it. What's going on today is pure politics.
Pure politics. And let me tell you another area where there's been pure politics. That's raising of the debt ceiling. A lot of hot air today over this resolution of disapproval. Come on, we all know how you guys stand on this. Aren't we just wasting time?
Well, here's what I would say to that. Yes, this was part of the package from last August. But at the end of the day, the question for the president is, what have you done since August to change anything with regard to the debt? We voted for a budget last year that some have called extreme, but the truth is it takes decades just to get to balance. We voted for that. We voted for reforms in Medicare, etc. This president has done nothing to address the debt. And so, if nothing else,
it's a two-way street here. I mean, everybody has to be on board. I got to get to one other question for you, though, here, and that's on Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett saying, I will match any congressman's contribution to the nation's debt. Come on. How do you feel about this? Is this a challenge, or what is this? How do you read Warren Buffett's offer?
Look, Warren Buffett's got a checkbook. He ought to just pull a check out, and he can write as big a check as he wants to the federal government today if he thinks that's the place to put his money. That's a bunch of nonsense.
Are you going to pony up any money here, Congressman?
I'm going to take care of my kids and wife first, and I'll get back to Warren Buffett later.
He's got a few extra pennies. He could pay down a lot of the debt if he wanted to. Congressman,
Sure.
Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. You got to come back,
Appreciate
okay?
it.
Thank you. And tomorrow here, you won't